Okay, I'm just gonna start filming because otherwise I'll overthink this and this will not get done for a significant amount of time. I wanted to make a video. Hi, I'm Freya. This is my writing author channel. And I wanted to make a video that kind of sat down and talked you through my writing goals for the new year of 2026 and what I kind of want to achieve with writing, with publishing, with my projects. And I thought this would be a good reintroduction if you've kind of dipped in and out of my videos and you don't know all the nuance of what I have going on. And yeah, so to jump into it, in 2025, I worked on 2 big writing projects. And I also recorded my own audiobook for my first novel, First Do No Harm, which is published, self-published and kind of available, and you can look into it if you're interested. I started working on my second novel. So First Do No Harm was published, to go way back and kind of give you the full history. First Do No Harm was published in April of 2024. And then I kind of fluffed around for a few months, kind of trying to decide what I was going to write next, and settled on a project which was a historical fiction novel, which at the moment is titled The Go-Between Girl. And I currently have a solid finished draft of that project now in January of 2026. And it's taken almost that entire time to get to a finished draft. I kind of finished the draft, like a completed draft of that novel, I think in November of 2025, because halfway through I decided that I'd kind of skim written. I don't know how to explain it. I hadn't done the first half of the novel justice in terms of adding enough substantialness to the scenes. I wasn't kind of giving them enough juice. So I went back and I started from the beginning of the novel again and added to it. And then that took a few months, and then kind of continued to the end of the novel, got to the end of the first draft, November. Let it sit for a month. So now we're in early December. And I have been editing it since then. It's gone to my critique partner, I think 3 or 4 times. Not all of them since then, because when I started writing it, I was very kind of nervous about where it was going, and I would get stuck, and so I would send something off to be read, and then my critique partner would kind of help me figure out where to go next with it. And that process continued up until I was about halfway through, and then from about halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, I did the rest without him reading it. And then he read the completed draft after I finished it in December. And yeah, so the feedback I got from that round of edits was that it has very solid bones. There are a few minor plot little gaps that I'd created for myself that needed to be fixed and kind of piled in with cement. And then from there, it's kind of almost in the shape that it needs to be for me to consider what I'm going to do with it next. So I want him to look at the final few chapters again, because he said there was a dip in quality with the last few chapters. So I want him to see the edits I've done on those. And then, so waiting for him to get back from holidays to kind of assess whether he has time, when he has time to read it. And so that project is kind of on pause at the moment. And then the other project I'm working on is titled High Quality Man. And that is a different sort of novel. It's kind of a real departure in terms of the perspective I'm writing from for me, and kind of a big leap to kind of present someone who I don't want to say I have no business writing, but I don't have direct life experience being this type of person. So it's a real challenge to kind of step outside, and I'm really enjoying that kind of challenge of kind of finding that voice. And I am currently 18,000 words into that draft, into a first draft of that. And I want it to be a novel length project. I think it will end up being a shorter novel. The Go-Between Girl is sitting at 69,000 words right now, 69,500. And so I don't know that it will quite, which is short for a novel anyway, but I don't know that this project will kind of make that, even that amount. Honestly, I think I'll start to struggle around the 35,000 word mark, and I'll really have to beef it up and kind of tease it out to get it to, that is a long way off still, but to get it to a novel length project, but I want it to be. So that's the current state of affairs, the current update. And now I'll jump into my goals for 2026, my writing process, what I'm currently doing. So with the Go-Between Girl, I'm waiting for that final look over of those chapters, those last few chapters, and for him to say, yep, it all hangs together well, it's ready to go on to the next stage. And I've decided that the next stage for that novel is that I'm going to query it to agents and kind of see if I can get it traditionally published, which the first step in that process is to try and get an agent. So yeah, that'll be a new writing experience for me, and I fully intend to share that as I'm doing it and kind of take you along on that journey if you're interested in coming. And then, so that's that project. And then my daily kind of writing focus is adding 1,000 words at a time to High Quality Man, and getting a completed draft of that. I've set a tentative deadline for that. All in all, I'll explain this deadline a little bit. So all in all, it took me about 500 days to get to a completed draft of the Go-Between Girl. And so I've taken 50 days off that and said I can have 450 days, which is a long amount of time, I know, but I can have 450 days to write this next novel project. So yeah, I am sitting at 18,000 words and kind of trying to figure out slowly and surely, plod one foot in front of the other, what comes next in this novel, because I don't outline novels. I very much write and kind of go along for the journey and experience things as they come. So that 450 days would put me into 2027, which seems like a long time away, but that will be the other project that I'll be working on. And that is the project, if you watch my vlogs, that has the project candle that gets lit. And I've still been burning the project candle. It is, it's got a significant divot now. It's been burned for quite a few hours to get to the 18,000 words that I've done. So yeah, that is kind of my focus for this year. I've also started a kind of nebulous collection of poems that I'm not sure what I'll do with, but I wrote 2 poems the other week and I kind of enjoyed it. So that's been another creative outlet that I have going on in the background. And yeah, I think that is everything I wanted to say. I didn't kind of script this video, so I just kind of talked off the cuff. So I'm sorry if it's very rambly and chatty, but yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking an interest in my writing projects and what I have going on in 2026. And I hope that 2026 is a great year for you, and whatever creative endeavors you are undertaking, that they kind of flourish. And let's kick off this year with good vibes. Okay, I think that is all I want to say. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.